local election headquarters. This is Politics Today with Jackie Kingston.
Coming up, the local economy is standing out among cities across the country. Why Amarillo is being recognized for its fast growth. And the North Heights Advisory Association hosted a meeting to hear input about how to revitalize the community. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. We have lots of things going on locally and statewide as the Texas 88th legislative session continues. One story we've been following all month, however, and at the time of this recording, is an upcoming decision that could threaten access to abortion pills across the state and across the nation. At this time, an anti-abortion group has asked Judge Matthew J. Kacsmaryk to order the Food and Drug Administration to pull a pill used in medication abortions off the market. That lawsuit was the focus of two local protests that took place earlier this month. Judge Kacsmaryk has ordered the parties to finish filing legal briefs in the case by Friday, that's today when we record this program, but has not indicated when he will issue his ruling. If the judge grants the group's request and the FDA follows the court order, it would cut off access to the drug nationwide. At this time, no decision has been made, like we said, but we'll have the latest updates on the lawsuit if anything does break over the weekend at myhighplains.com. According to a recent report by economic experts, Amarillo's #2 on their list of the fastest growing economies in the top 100 mid-sized cities in the United States. The report highlights Amarillo's array of industries, including meatpacking, petroleum extraction, agriculture, and logistics. But Gerald Cohen, chief economist at the Keenan Institute, says the Amarillo economy is heavily dependent on the oil industry, noting the Phillips 66 refinery in Borger. Cohen says that can be a benefit and can also be a challenge.
What's happened in Amarillo is that even with the price cycle, you've seen a general increase in activity around the energy sector and around in the area, and so that's kept the economies growing even when energy prices fell.
Cohen also says when the Amarillo economy does well, the entire region benefits. The North Heights Advisory Association is preparing to spend funds to redevelop and revitalize that neighborhood. Thursday night, the North Heights Advisory Association and local architecture firm Park Hill hosted a community planning workshop to get input from the community. Politics Today's Kaylee Green has also been following this and takes a look at where that money is coming from and how it may be used.
The North Heights Advisory Association says this community meeting and charrette will help to shape the future of the community.
I hope to see a full room, and in that full room, I hope to have every idea that they want in the neighborhood.
Development Chair Joseph Peterson says there are dollars available to start redevelopment in the neighborhood.
In 2016, the bond that was passed allocated some funds to the neighborhood, and since then, we've also received some COVID funds through the ARPA allocations that the city and the county allocated to us.
The City of Amarillo's planning director, Emily Kohler, says $654,000 were allocated to each neighborhood plan from the bond funds. And so far, North Heights has only used a portion.
I'd say there's still $500,000 that's available to be allocated to what the neighborhood wants. The ARPA funding the city set aside for the plan areas is $100,000, and there are guidelines for both of these sources of funds, but generally anything that's consistent with the goals of their neighborhood plan, those projects would be eligible for the funding.
Kohler says that bond funding is now unrestricted and can be used for any type of public improvement in the neighborhood.
It could be more housing, it could be help with home repair, it could be cleaning up dilapidated structures, vacant lots. Whatever ideas they have, that's what we want to hear, because that's what we're going to do. We are just a reflection of the North Heights community.
Peterson says the next step will be Park Hill tabulating the information and presenting their findings to the North Heights Advisory Association. We'll continue to follow that story for you. We're learning more about the changes to Amarillo's homeless population. Coming up, we're taking a look at the latest point-in-time count and what the city wants to do to respond. I'm Jackie Kingston. You're watching Politics Today from your local election headquarters. Amarillo's homeless population is increasing. That's according to new data presented to the City Council. January's point-in-time count is a snapshot of homelessness in Amarillo over a 24-hour period. While it shows more people are without homes, there are existing programs in place and new plans to help. Politics Today's Kaylee Green is back with that story.
At last year's January pick count, there were 539 people without homes in Amarillo. This year, that number is up to 692, and the total number of people without homes was up by nearly 200 compared to 2021.
Really, the housing costs and rental rates have really risen in the recent past, and I know that COVID has had a big problem for some of our folks that are out there. So we need more affordable housing. We need rents to be stable. We need people to start to be able to own their homes.
The city's director of community development, Jason Riddlesberger, says homelessness in Amarillo is headed the wrong direction. This year, there were also 421 people who were unsheltered. That number has steadily increased since 2021.
We've been really researching and studying why that happened, and we've even interviewed a lot of our folks in the streets, and really it boils down to that there are a lot of barriers when it comes to some of our current shelters.
But the city's plans for Transformation Park, a low-barrier shelter that allows pets, can help bridge the gap, while the Coming Home program provides people with permanent housing and services to help them maintain it.
Shelter's not the answer. Shelter is a step. Permanent housing is the answer. A house is the answer to homelessness. So that's what we need to be working towards. It truly is the answer as far as how we do this and we make it successful long term.
Riddlesberger says the Coming Home program is about 85% successful at keeping people in permanent housing, and they're avoiding falling back into homelessness. He says the city hopes to break ground on Transformation Park in April and open in about 18 months. Up next, I had the opportunity to travel to Austin last week for Panhandle Days to speak with our state legislators. Coming up, my interview with State Representative Ken King as we discuss what's on the agenda for the 88th legislative session. Talk a little bit about this session, 88th session, your 6th, you said. What has it been like? How is this year going?
Well, I'm glad the pandemic's over, and we've had kind of a normal start to session with, a lot of constituents coming, a lot of different interested parties on legislation that's going on. So the Capitol's been full every day. It's so much better than 21 when we were here and there was nobody but the elected officials and a little bit of staff in the building, particularly for the first 60 days. And it was the strangest feeling because I was elected to represent the people, but the people weren't invited. And it just seemed like a really hard concept for me. But this session's off and running. It's been good so far. We haven't really, the process is just now getting underway. We'll likely refer the first bills to committee this week, and so the clock on the 140 days is clicking off pretty fast.
Yeah, it seems like it. I know that after committee assignments, you were assigned to a chairmanship on a committee that you have served on in the past. I want to ask you about that. Licensing deals with a lot of different industries, a lot of different folks. What have you learned from chairing that committee?
Well, we haven't even had a hearing yet, so I'm pretty new to it. But I'm trying to learn all the different players. And as you said, that the committee does have oversight over a lot of different agencies and really any business or any industry that has to have a license in Texas. The work of this committee will touch that company. So we could be talking about hairdressers or liquor stores or welders or plumbers or anybody that has a license in Texas will ultimately come into that committee's purview. So I'm excited about it. It's new. I've spent most of my tenure down here. I've had lots of other committees, but the one constant has been public education. And I've served on licensing in one session, but as a committee member. But having the privilege to have the chair of it is really a big deal, and I'm just excited to get to work.
I want to ask about public education. That's been a big topic for the lieutenant governor, the governor. In his State of the State, he talked about how important that's going to be in one of his
emergency issues at top of mind for all of the legislators moving forward through this session. And I know one of the things that they are focused on is vouchers. And you have said in the past that you oppose vouchers, school vouchers for public school. And I want to ask you where you are on that issue and where do you think that goes in this session?
Well, you know, it's interesting. The governor said that he supported, I believe he's calling them education savings accounts, and that he has a plan, and that all public schools will be fully funded before we start giving taxpayer money to private entities. I'll take the governor at his word for now. I haven't seen the plan. I can tell you we've never fully funded public schools. When we did House Bill 3 in 2019, it's as close as we've ever gotten. The way the statute works, as property values rise in the state of Texas, the state's portion of public education goes down. And prior to 2019, the state's portion of the cost of public education was about 36%. We put over $11 billion into public education in the 2019 session, and we got to around 47%. But with the inflationary losses we've seen the last several years, we're back down to around 40. So we're talking about putting billions of additional dollars into public education to even get close to fully funding our traditional public schools and public charter schools. So, I certainly, until I see the governor's plan, I'm certainly not going to say that he's wrong. But what I will say is, when you ask a private school to take the STAR test, or to participate in our A through F accountability system, or take their proportionate number of our special education students and those kind of things, I don't think they're going to be very interested in a voucher, because those things would eat up whatever they made off the voucher. And then on the other hand, I don't feel right about giving taxpayer dollars to private entities with no accountability. I don't know of a taxpayer that thinks that's a good idea. We don't do that in any other subject. And then lastly, I would say for House District 88, I represent 19 counties. I have just a very small handful of parochial schools, most of which don't even go through high school. I have no charter schools in the 19 counties. What I know about charter schools and magnet schools and private schools, they typically don't go to the inner city, and they don't come to rural Texas, because there's not the student population to support them, and they're not going to make any money at it. So taking money out of the public school system to help a few that already have more choices than the kids I represent do, I think it's just categorically wrong. I'm for all kids in Texas, not just the ones that live next to a private school.
Representative King and I also talked about parent choice in that interview. You can see the full interview on our website, myhighplains.com. Our interviews with state lawmakers during Panhandle Days will continue next. Coming up, hear what State Representative Ford Price had to say about mental health and school safety priorities this session.
I do want to ask you about healthcare. I know
Sure.
that that's something that you've worked on in the past, and that we've seen some changes in because of legislation that you've gotten enacted into law in the past. And I know that healthcare and mental health care kind of go hand in hand.
They do.
Expanding mental health care was a topic certainly for a lot of people who were here for Panhandle Days, and I know that's something that continues. Where do we stand on that, and what specifically would you like to see?
Mental and behavioral health are so important to everybody. The state has done great work over the past 8 to 10 years. We've made a lot of headway. I'm really privileged to have passed multiple bills that increase resources and the use of telehealth and telemedicine, and some insurance parity issues for mental health treatment, things that make the stigma surrounding mental health lower. And I think we're making great headway. This session, I would like to see us continue to add additional resources to behavioral and mental health treatment across the state. Many areas of the state are underserved and have little or no options when it comes to mental health treatment. So expanding those options, creating incentives for folks to enter the field, maybe some college debt reimbursement, loan repayment programs for mental health professionals. We can strengthen what we have passed several sessions ago about embedding some mental health professionals in our ESCs across the state so that counselors and students have some access to mental health professionals that previously they had no access to. And certainly there's a lot of work to be done there. I think we can leverage technology with telemedicine to expand access as well. We'll continue to work on all those areas, and so I would like to see that. I would also like to see more treatment options up in the Panhandle, forensic beds, civil commitment beds, step-down treatment options, things that really don't exist for our law enforcement, they don't exist for our counties, they don't exist for folks who have substance abuse and mental health issues that they need treatment for. I mean, there are limited options, but by and large, we could do a lot better. And so I'm hopeful that this session we see much more headway on appropriations for those types of projects, that we see more headway for laying the groundwork to develop those over the next several years. So I think we've got a lot of consensus built in both the House and the Senate. We have a long way to go until the end of the session to see how successful we can be, but there are a lot of folks pulling the same direction to see progress made in mental and behavioral health right now, which I think is fantastic. And it also ties into school safety. I think there are some issues there that need to be prioritized. We don't want to label anybody or create problems where they don't need to exist, but we need to be realistic and address issues as early as possible to prevent them from getting worse and deteriorating. So I am confident that those discussions will continue in earnest as we go through this session.
I do want to ask you about your work on natural resources and energy. I think a lot of people, across the state, the headlines that are made are all about ERCOT lately. But most of the Panhandle is not on the ERCOT.
That's right.
So as we kind of separate those two, what are the priorities that you're working on there?
In the Natural Resources Committee in the House, we work a lot on water law and developing and protecting clean water for our communities. The issues are so broad in Texas. Down on the coast, you have different types of issues with subsidence, coastal water issues, flows out into the Gulf of Mexico. In the Panhandle, it's all about groundwater. We don't have a lot of surface water. Groundwater production, aquifer storage and recovery, potential desalination of brackish water. Those are the types of issues that we continue to work on as well. And then, of course, you've got surface water in East Texas in abundance, and they've got groundwater as well as a lot of surface water. So the issues surrounding reservoir development, transfer of water among basins, those are issues that are unique to those regions. So Texas is geographically so large that we have different types of water issues. So the committee really focuses on developing good policy for our water use and protection for our water use for generations into the future. And it's so important for us, it drives everything. Texas, as you've seen, runs on water. We've had lots of discussions about how that relates to agriculture and the production of food up in our neck of the woods. We've seen lots of discussion, bills filed on the production of energy and the use of water to do that. Obviously, municipal use, recreational use is big. As our population grows, which it is rapidly, we have a lot more demand every day on our water. So developing good policy for the use of our water and being attuned to scientific developments and making sure our laws are modernized to accommodate good policy for water use is of high importance and very, very, very high up on my personal list too.
My thanks once again to Representative King and Price for speaking with us in Austin this week. We'll have more interviews from Panhandle Days coming up next week on this program, so stay tuned for that. Stick around, we'll wrap things up after this. Okay, one last thing before we go today. The May 6th municipal election is just around the corner, and the latest update from last week is that candidates drew for their places on the ballot. All of those candidates who are running for Amarillo City Council and Mayor gathered at the council chambers on Wednesday for the drawing. During the meeting, city officials gave the candidates a breakdown of what to expect from the election and the important dates coming up.
In order to determine where someone is on the ballot for their place, we do a drawing. We draw in order of the applications as they were accepted throughout the month that we took them. And once we draw, they draw their number, we will order them, and then that is how they will appear on the ballot for our voters.
The last day to register to vote in the May election is April 6th. Early voting begins on April 24th. You can follow along and see all the positions on the ballot on our website, myhighplains.com. Thanks for being here. See you next week.